Right, question 24. A goldfish bowl in the shape of a sphere contains the same volume of water as this cylindrical tank. Okay. The spherical tank has a radius of 20 centimeters and is 9/10 full. The water is poured into the cylindrical tank, which has a radius of 15 centimeters. And it's given us the formula for the volume of a sphere, which is 4/3 pi r cubed, where r is the radius. And then the question is, how far up the cylindrical tank will the water level be? Right. So, where to begin? Well, with this question, I'm going to begin with that spherical tank. So, let's just plug in the information we've got and see about the amount of water in the tank. So, the volume of this spherical tank, forgot the P, spherical tank, equals, right, 4/3 pi times by my radius cubed. Now my radius is 20, and I'm going to cube that. Okay. Right, 4/3 pi times 20 cubed. So what is that? Well, let's put that into the calculator, and let's just be careful with the calculator, because sometimes it can be a bit silly, the calculator. And so, in being careful, I'm going to do 20 cubed first. 20 cubed, okay, which equals 8,000. All right, so I know that that's 8,000. So I'm going to put that in as 8,000 times by 4/3, just going to put it in as it is, yeah, times by pi. That is my volume of that spherical tank, the whole volume of that tank. And it comes to that, 3351.032164. No, it doesn't. I have incorrectly put in my 8,000. I put it in as 800. Right, 20 cubed came to 8,000, didn't it? And I've just made a calculator error, but it's a good thing I spotted it. I saw that that looked a bit low for what I thought it might be, and so then I rechecked that, and that's just 800, not 8,000. So to change that so that it was 8,000, I could times by 10. So that was an error by me, but fortunately I picked it up. So that comes to 33,510. I'm going to keep all my accuracy. 0.32164 centimeters. It's cubed, isn't it? Because it's volume. Okay, right. That's my volume of the spherical tank. But it's 9/10 full. Okay, so my volume of the water is 9/10 of that. Okay, so it's 0.9. 9/10 is the same as 0.9 times by that 33,510.32164. Okay, which equals, so I'm going to take that, the answer there, I leave that on the screen, I'm just going to times that by 0.9, which gives me 30,159.28947 centimeters cubed. Alright, so that's my amount of water. I could be working all in pi at this point if I wanted to. It'd be fine to do that. Be quite neat actually to do that. But anyway, I've got it in this decimal format, but it's just important that I don't lose accuracy. So that's my volume of the water. Now, this water is now going to be poured into this tank, and we're going to see how far up the tank the water comes to. Right. Now, my volume of a cylinder. Okay, so I'm going to write this down for myself. We don't have the formula for the volume of a cylinder, but a cylinder isn't it? It's just a type of prism with a circular base, and so I know any prism is my cross section times by my height. It gives me my volume. So my cross section is the area of the circle. at the which is at the base. So that is pi r squared, and then I'm going to times it by the height. So pi r squared times by my height. That gives me my volume of the cylinder. Now I have some of that information. Okay. Now the cylinder, the only bit which I'm interested in is the height. I want to know what the height is. I know what the radius is, and I actually also know the volume, because the volume for the height that I want, okay, is the volume of the water that's poured in. Okay, so that is this amount here. That's this 30,159.28947. Right, equals pi times by 15 squared h. Okay, whereas the same as was 15 squared, 225. So 225 pi h. Okay, that's this. That's what this is all equal to. 30,159.28947. So to work out the h, the height that the water level will be at, I'm going to have to divide both sides by this 225 pi. Okay, so I'm going to divide that by 225 pi, divide this by 225 pi. Gives me, so, okay, gives me h here. And so there's my amount that I'm going to divide by 225 pi. I'm going to divide that by 225 times by pi equals 42.6 recurring. Okay, 42.6 recurring I prefer to think of as 42 2/3. So I've got 42. Does it say to one decimal place or anything? No. So 42 2/3 centimeters. And not centimeters squared. It's the height of the cylinder. That is my height of the cylinder.